so often, the sports hangover touches on mature topics. Discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Sports Hangover. That's Jeremy Garrison. I'm Michael Benatar. And we're back again, Jeremy. We kind of, up and down on our schedule of what's going on. It's the end of the year. We're relaxing, eating a lot of food, hanging out with friends and family. It's a good time.
Here's the thing. Yes. We're punishing people who are not watching us. Whenever we have a show that doesn't rate very well, when our Nielsen ratings, we don't do a show for a week or two. And if we get a show where a lot of people watch, we'll come right back. And so it's your fault. Not yours, Mike. It's theirs.
It is their fault. Do you want to start out some of your news?
Yeah, I want to talk about the biggest story in sports right now, which you may not know much about. It's a college football playoff.
I've seen things. I was at the gym today listening to them bitch about it all, but I honestly don't care. Obviously,
well, you don't follow college football, but most people do. You bet on a lot of stuff, and probably college football betting rivals NFL betting, just so you know with people. They love betting on college because the spreads get so big. You can bet on like 30-point underdogs, just so you know for next year.
This year's been a bad year for me.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Really bad.
The committee, Mike, they're too radical. They're too bold. Florida State is the only undefeated team. I saw this team in person last week. I have a scouting report. It was good.
They looked really bad.
They played like shit.
I watched that game. It was bad.
Jameis had 4 interceptions. They played really bad. But here's the thing. They're the only undefeated team in all of college football, and they're ranked number 4. And that's too crazy. I mean, maybe 2, maybe 3, but 4, really?
The thing that always bothers me with college football is the schedule. Like, of course, they're going to play a lot of easy teams. They're going to play some of the, I don't know who Alabama plays, but I'm sure half of their schedule is pretty easy. And I'm sure the other half wasn't. Like the whatever it's called, the Iron Bowl. I watched that, a little bit of that.
It was a good game.
But I mean, who are the thing that bothers me is the people that are doing this. It's not like here's our system. Whatever the system says, this is how you appear in the rankings. They should just have a whole college football, like each division playoff. And if you're the winner of that division, should go in, like the top divisions. Obviously, the D1 schools.
I mean, there's a Power 5 conferences. There's maybe 60 teams in these 5 conferences, 58 or 60 good teams. So they can't all play each other, It's impossible. They can only play 10 or 12 games a year. So that's impossible. Florida State's schedule is not as good as the other teams, but they haven't lost it all. That has to mean something. And to have them number 4, no one in their right mind outside of this playoff committee has them at number 4. The committee's trying too hard. They're trying too hard. They're bold. They're brash. It doesn't make sense. They're doing it all wrong.
So why would Florida State be out? Because they play terribly every week?
Yeah, their reasoning is they struggle against unranked teams, which I agree with. They should not be number 1. I agree with that. But all the way at number 4, no one in their right mind has them down at number 4 except those on the committee.
So who has them? Does somebody have them higher or lower?
They're all in the top 3. Everyone in America has them in the top 3 somewhere, except maybe an SEC apologist somewhere, except the committee doesn't. And it's crazy. And they'll get in the playoff because they're playing a good team this week. So if they win, they're in. If they lose, they're not, just as it should be. It's just crazy. And they're too bold. They're too brash. They're trying to make a statement. I don't like it. They just tone it down, which normally I'm on the other side of it, right? We're young. We like radical and bold and switch it up. Not this time, man.
So when do the playoffs happen? It's not...
So the playoffs are New Year's Day. We'll miss them traveling back from our ski adventure. Me and Mike, just the 2 of us, are going on a romantic ski adventure.
1 bed
in Colorado. 1 bed, 2 dudes.
When are you leaving that day, by the way?
I'm leaving at night. I'm going to miss all these games.
At night?
It's like 6 o'clock. You have to book.
I'm trying to get out. I'm going to leave early. Hopefully somebody can drive.
Yeah, get out early.
Get out of that place.
Be hungover New Year's Day. The point is, the bowls will be selected on this coming Sunday afternoon, right before the NFL games at like 12:45. Then we'll play them out on January 1st.
All right. I like it. Hopefully we can. I mean, there should be some games in the morning, right? We should be able to watch something.
Well, the 2 big playoff games will be at night.
Okay. This is what I got for you, Jeremy. Do we want to talk about Eric Decker or Jose Canseco?
Eric Decker. I don't want to talk about missing fingers.
Eric Decker's wife says he's depressed. Is that how he looks right now? Eric Decker's wife says he's depressed over the New York Jets' miserable season. He says he comes home depressed, upset. But who cares when you're getting this? The whole reason I put this in here is because who cares when you're getting paid so much money? You're still playing football. You're playing a sport you love. If you're good, it should show on the field. Obviously, you have 2 quarterbacks that, maybe not that great right now.
Meh. You know what? It's bullshit because the guy chose to sign there. He chose to sign for a lot of money there. He could have taken less money and stayed with Peyton Manning in Denver and be living it up.
Yeah.
But no, he chose for the money grab to take his wife to New York City and do her things. And I don't feel bad for him at all.
Because he went from what? Tom Brady to Peyton Manning, and then you go to wait. Was he not with Tom Brady?
No, he's with
all
Peyton
the whole time.
He's only been in the league like 3 years.
Wait, who's the guy with Tom Brady then? Who am I thinking of?
Wes Welker.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. Well, I guess when you go from Peyton to anybody else, it's not going to be.
But so, how can he be upset? How can he have any? He chose to
He's
sign
upset.
here.
They suck. I mean, look at them play every week. I mean, sometimes. I mean, won twice this season?
So they ran the ball. Yeah, 2 wins. They ran the ball all over the Dolphins on Monday night, and then in the end, the Dolphins were up 3 points, and Geno had to throw some passes, and it was so bad and ugly. It was just like no wonder they're fucking.
What's
running
going
the
on
ball.
with your Dolphins? All of a sudden, they're looking good.
Hey, 7-5. They're in the playoffs right now. If it ended, I know there's a lot of teams bunched up, but they're in right now.
In fantasy football.
That's good stuff. I want to talk about fantasy
do you want to
football. You want to talk about my fantasy
Let's
football?
talk about fantasy football. Let's go.
Well, all right. So I'm in 3 leagues, and one of them, number 1 seed. I have a powerhouse, Mike. Aaron Rodgers, DeMarco Murray, Jordy Nelson. Boom, boom, boom.
Done, and done.
Other 2 leagues, we're not going to talk about.
Well, you took over. You took over 1 league.
I'm not even talking about that one. I'm in Ford right now, which is too many. I'm going to cut one next year. Might be yours. Okay, so I want to talk about something that's brewing in your league that I was brought into.
Oh, I have
and it is.
Did you see it?
Vetoes.
Vetoes, yes.
Vetoes, Mike. The vetoes and the trade deadline. Listen, when you're in a fantasy league, we don't have to talk about this long because no one wants to hear about other people's.
I gotta show you this text.
Vetoes are allowed. Yep. Vetoes are allowed. People say vetoes aren't allowed, and I say bullshit to that.
Yes.
Because if it's not a fair deal, if there's some shenanigans going on, and people are always looking to pull shenanigans, they always are. If there's money changing hands underneath,
that's what they were doing.
If someone's out of the playoffs and someone's in, it's not right, and you can veto, and it's always in your
And I always say, that's why I'm always like, you can vote however you want, and people are like, no, if it's a good trade and it looks fair, it should just go through. But if you don't like the trade, say no. Say no to the goddamn trade.
That's a right. Yeah, you can say no.
And of course, people were like, the commissioner got a trade through. But it's like, all you guys agreed to my trade that I wanted. Like, I put a trade up, and it went through. So, you remember how the trade was with one of the guys?
Well, listen, I don't think it's going to help the people at home if we're talking too much about your personal league. I'm trying to keep it in general terms, Mike. When I'm saying don't veto, if you can keep it in general terms, I'll allow you to continue to say This is semi-general terms. Can I read this text message that was sent to me from somebody else? This is from Crazy League member?
This is from one person in the trade, but this was sent to our friend in this area that sent it to me because I don't want to give them out. I don't know if they watch the show. I'm up here on an island. All you guys are down there together. It's super weighted against me. I can't get anything done. Not a single trade over the last month and a half, and I've been trying desperately to. I'm just not having fun anymore, and it's a waste of time and money. Nothing has been done fairly this year. I'll play this year out, but I want out of the league next year. You don't have to drop anybody. Can I say this? He's a little bitch. You can't. You're so upset that he's been trying to trade with me, and I said no. I really don't want to trade. And
he is a little bitch, but listen, it's within his right to say that. Just like it's within your right to veto, it's within his right to go away from the league and never come back and feel like he didn't get his money's worth. Because there's always people that want to join, and it could be a 10-team league instead of 12, and that'd be fine too.
It's true.
Who is this person?
I'll tell you off the air. I'll tell you. All right, Jose Canseco. I guess he's attempting to rebound. I didn't know he broke up with his wife, but he's attempting.
No, Leia, the girl that saved his finger.
Oh. Well, yeah, so I guess he's divorced now, suddenly.
Yeah.
He's been trying to rebound on Twitter, and he says, already tired of being single, looking to get married ASAP, which is a crazy tweet to tweet out. Then he tweets Shania Twain a picture of him. Shania Twain, want to get married? We were supposed to meet when I played for the Blue Jays in 1998. That's like his pitch to Shania Twain.
Not the best pitch I've ever heard.
This leads me into a bigger story. Jose Canseco, he's crazy. He's a public figure. People know him. I don't know if you saw this. So, did we have somebody on from Awful Announcing a while ago?
Yeah, Ken Thangs. What a great guy. So, he was really good guest. He brought a lot in.
He was really good. But so there seems to be a little problem with one of the hockey bloggers over at Awful Announcing.
Oh, I heard this. Steve Lepore. I followed Steve Lepore on Twitter prior to this. This is a great story. Good job.
Steve Lepore is a hockey blogger for Awful Announcing and also wrote for a little Rolling Stone for a little while. And he's big on Twitter. He likes to tweet people. But it seems like he, I don't know, he likes to direct message girls and try to get them to wear skimpy clothes and come over and take pictures if they're living close to him. So here, I mean, I could read some of your tweets.
Yeah, so this guy, he's like a decent Twitter follower. He tweets about media and hockey, which you like one of those? I like one of those.
I don't know what part of this tweet is. Basically, think it over and let me know if you would absolutely say no on the terms of wardrobe. It's not like I'm trying to do anything crazy, but I like to keep my options open for stuff. You know what I mean? First,
So is this via Twitter, like
via
his
DM
account, or
this is DM? So this girl, this girl Tani
she's a writer, a hockey.
But she
writer
was getting tweeted this, and she's like, well, nudity is a no-fly zone, and I'm not crazy about showing my arm, but that's it. Well, I don't know. So there's a whole bunch of tweets that go on, and it just progressively keeps getting creepier and creepier and creepier. And he's like, okay, what about like shorts and a dress and a tank top? Is cleavage okay? And he keeps direct messaging these girls, and I guess the number's now up to 20 that he's trying
have come out. It's a real Bill Cosby situation without the actual insertion. So that's what it is.
And I think the problem is, I think being on the internet and maybe if you have low social skills, I suggest maybe
which a lot of internet people
they do, but I suggest maybe go out and actually try to like. I know it's hard and it's easy to say like go out and talk to a girl, but go out and see how they actually interact, because on the internet when you ask them to take their clothes off and take pictures, it's probably not going to work out.
And once it happens to 20 girls, one of them's going to out you. And when that happens, you're done. And Steve Lepore is now done because he was fired from Awful Announcing.
I didn't hear that. And now, but you also have to think on his side. His thing is like, oh, maybe if I ask, 20 girls, one should say yes.
Well, it's creepy and it's not okay. Yes. And it kind of paints a picture where this is happening a lot, and it does. And women's rights are a big deal. And this is in the spotlight right now with Bill Cosby. Man, it's messed up that women are being disrespected all over the place. One of my favorite sports media people is Katie Nolan, and I'm a big Michelle Beadle fan. She's a little past her prime at this point. But I'm moving on to Katie Nolan. So there's women in sports media that I genuinely like, and they're genuinely good and funny and good at what they do. And she posts a video right on Twitter. You can scroll down under Katie Nolan's Twitter post, and there's 7 comments. First 7 comments are, you should have done this naked. You shouldn't have done it in a bikini. Man, I want to fuck you while you're doing this show. It's not a level playing field. If me and you tweeted that out, we would not get this.
I wish we had comments like that, though. I wish somebody would comment like, "Hey."
Yeah, you do, but most people don't, and it's not. It's like fucked up. It really is.
I know, but it's messed up. It's the internet. It's like an anonymous place where you can just post bullshit.
It's too anonymous.
I know. But what do you want, Jeremy? The government to list us like all usernames on the internet?
No, but people get these so-called Twitter muscles, and they say things to people that they would never say to them walking down the street. Like Katie Nolan walking down the street, people would say, "Hi, I'm a big fan. Nice to meet you." They'd never say these things.
You should be walking
Twitter,
naked down the street. No one would say that.
No, but on Twitter, they feel so big and bad that they can say this stuff, and it's not right. And Steve Lepore the same way. He wouldn't say this to someone in a restaurant or something. Not at all. He never would. So it's messed up. I mean,
those are trolls, though. Those are people that love to do that on the internet, and they're always going to be there. I mean.
I know, and Steve Lepore is a troll.
Do you want to talk about this real quick? I don't know much about it. The Bucks and I guess several NFL teams are using unpaid people to work in their concession stands.
I saw this. If it's true, it should be a bigger story, but I haven't seen it picked up many places.
It's kind of like what is it? I guess they're kind of people that are kind of like out on their luck, like homeless people, but I guess they were supposed to be getting paid from the organization that they were hired from.
Sounds sketchy. I'm sure the Bucks are not at fault here. They would not risk it for like $10 an hour in the concession stand. They make so much.
Well, I guess they don't make that much money if no one's going to the games.
That's true. It's just a bad luck, but it's too bad. I have a story here about Johnny Manziel. He came in the game last week, right? Johnny Football, after his big fight a few weeks ago. I think we may have talked about that.
What? Well,
he was in a big fight. He was in his hotel building or his apartment, and a guy came up to him and wanted to hug him. And said, "I'm a big fan," and Johnny and his posse got in a brawl with this man. And the man may have been a little handsy, which then we understand what Johnny's doing. But Johnny doesn't have to hug the guy, but you probably shouldn't knock his ass out either. So that happened. And then next up, they play the Bills. Hoyer's struggling. They're down 20-3, and boom. Manziel comes in the game, scores on a big drive, rushing touchdown. Yeah. He gets in the end zone. So we think this is it, the start of Johnny Football. And now the Browns announced today that Hoyer's going to start next week. It's kind of sad. I mean, I want to see Johnny.
But he wasn't. I saw one what's that like meme that's going around of Johnny laying down after he got like tackled?
He played dead. He was in the end zone. He scored a touchdown.
I know. No, was it after he scored a touchdown?
I thought it was when he scored.
I thought it was when he
like,
fumbled the ball.
I didn't see a fumble. Maybe it's selective sight, but I didn't see that.
I guess I didn't. But Johnny Football, I mean, why let him in now? It's like the end of the season. If he's bad now,
because Hoyer's been terrible.
I know, but let him play out the season. Then you have a reason to get rid of Hoyer next year, and then
why? You're in the playoff hunt. You're 7-5. Bring some juice.
But didn't Hoyer get there?
In.
Hoyer's the one who got him there?
I would say he's not the reason that they're there. He's been struggling the last 3 games. They've won they're 1-2 in their last 3, I believe. He's been struggling.
Right, maybe Johnny comes in. What else you got?
One more Browns story. Oh, wow. So Trent Richardson used to be on the Browns. You remember this trade last year?
Big trade.
When he went from the Browns to the Colts. It was like there's never trades during the season. It was like a big
trade, a big name.
But it's because at the time he was a big name, and now he's really not. Nothing. He's not as good anymore.
They have like another running back doing something else. You don't even hear Trent's name anymore.
Boom Herron, I know. 2 fumbles, and he'll still play ahead of Trent Richardson. So Trent Richardson and the Colts are returning to Cleveland this week to play the Browns. And Trent Richardson said if he scores a touchdown for the Colts, he's going to jump in the dog pound, which is like where all the fans are behind the end zone. But he plays for the Colts. So what the hell is he thinking? Jumping in the enemy territory. They traded him. They didn't want him there. No one's going to treat him well. He's going to get pummeled. Like, what if someone brings a sharp object in those first row of seats?
I doubt they'll have any sharp objects. But, I mean, maybe he wants to jump in there because did he ever score when he was with the Colts? Not the Colts. He
had a great run with the Browns. He was a first-round fantasy choice at one point.
But he really went downhill fast.
Downhill quick. So the joke here is he's not going to get in the end zone, which is funny because
probably true.
He never scores. But what does he think? He's a visitor player. He'll get pummeled, which he should, I think.
Most likely, yeah. Ballsy move.
Ballsy move. So 2 Brown stories is the most we've ever had.
That's a lot. I mean, Johnny should come back and play. All right.
Do you have some bets for that? Browns?
I got some bets. Not betting on the Browns. Parlay of the week, Jeremy. Here we go. I got Broncos +10 versus the Bills. I think that's an easy win for the Broncos.
Broncos -10.
Oh, yeah, -10. Sorry. I don't know why I wrote +10.
So they're on the road at Buffalo. If you take a look at the Broncos' schedule this year, it's not as impressive as recent years.
No, not at all.
They're actually at home in this game.
And they still struggle. Yeah, they're in. Yeah, they still struggle though.
But they beat the Chiefs by single digits. Wasn't it? They only won by 9 at Kansas City. So at home, I like the 10. Good job.
I like the 10. Julius Thomas should be coming back for my playoff run. I have the bye this week. Fantasy. Pats -4 versus the Chargers. They're in San Diego. I just think the Patriots are a better team. Chargers seem to be digressing a little. They're not as something happened to what's his name, Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, he hasn't been playing as well since the Dolphins shut his ass out in Miami a few weeks ago.
Right? It
was a great game, one of the best I've ever seen. Truly, one of the best. So the Patriots 4-point road favorite. You never want to bet on a road favorite as a rule of thumb by a lot of people. This is a Sunday night game. The Chargers are at home. I feel like teams play better at home at night, so I disagree with this.
Okay, well, it's in my parlay.
By the way, did you see last week the Packers beat the Patriots by 6?
Yes.
The line was 3.5. I wanted to bet on the Patriots. If I was a betting man, I would have bet on the Patriots at 3.5. And Gostkowski missed that field goal late. It would have been a 3-point.
I know. I bet on the Patriots.
Wow.
All right, I'm kind of upset that I'm doing this, but I'm taking Steelers +3.5 versus the Bengals in Cincinnati.
So the Bengals 3.5-point favorites at home. They've been struggling, but they're a much better team at home. That's a tough line with 3.5. I could see the Steelers. I mean, they could lose by 3 and cover. So
that's the end of my parlay. I'm not doing big parlays. Honestly,
wow,
Jeremy,
just relax.
It has been a very tough season for gambling.
I know.
It's not been fun.
I just thought tough in general, but gambling, that's good. It's only gambling.
It's only gambling. All right, so now we're going to our eliminator, Jeremy. 2 weeks ago, we both picked teams. It was week 11 when we picked our teams. Now, you picked the Steelers versus the Titans. Steelers won. Bears versus the Vikings. The Bears won. Redskins versus the Bucks. The Redskins beat them. So you went 3-0 right there. I also went 3-0 with Packers, Falcons, and 49ers. So we are still tied.
And total, you are 1 up.
It's Michael +2, Jeremy -2.
Okay, so 2 up. I feel like it changes every week. All right, so we need 1 eliminator for this week. Even if we're not doing shows in the future, so would this be crazy to do a week 14 and a week 15 eliminator without knowing the results of week 14? because we're not gonna have a show next week.
Okay, all right. I'm on board with that. I gotta look up
ups the ante a little.
I gotta look up the schedule real quick.
Now, should we do 2 each because I'm down 2 and I need to get back on you?
Do you want to do 2?
Let's just do 1 and 1, and then in the later weeks, if I need help, I'll ratchet it.
All right. Do you want to go first? I can tell you your list of teams you've picked.
Tell me who I cannot pick.
You cannot pick a lot of people. Bengals, 49ers, Packers, Saints, Denver, Chargers, Steelers, Bears, and Redskins. But with that, I have selected the Dolphins over the Ravens this week as my eliminator.
Wow. See, now I like that.
You can't.
Because either I'm going to be happy the Dolphins won or happy that you lost your eliminator. So that's good for me. Either way. It's a win.
I'm sure you want them to win. Let me look at week 15, what I got on the schedule here. What are you thinking? What are you thinking for this week?
Wait.
What?
You just picked your winner for the eliminator, and you were going to let me pick first. How did that
because I read you all the teams, so I knew you had to look through everything. So I'm like, I'm just going to pick mine real quick.
Jeez, that wasn't fair. That wasn't overall.
Okay. You know what? You take the next 2. You take week 14 and 15.
I like that. All right, I am going to take the Arizona Cardinals at home over the Chiefs. Could surprise some people.
Ballsy move. That's a ballsy move. So that's week 14 for you, Jeremy. Who are you taking in week 15?
Let's take a look at the schedule for week 15.
I got somebody on deck that I want. It's gonna be good.
Really?
Yeah. So you have added the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Week 15. You know what? I don't think I've taken the Seahawks.
You're taking the Seahawks.
I don't think I have yet, right? They're not.
No, you haven't taken the Seahawks.
Give me the defending Super Bowl champions in Week 15 at home against the 49ers.
I like it, Jeremy. I'm also going with somebody that made an appearance in the Super Bowl last year. I'm going with the Broncos over. Who are they playing? Broncos are playing. What is this? I just saw it.
The Broncos are playing.
Broncos are playing the Chargers.
They are at San Diego. Look at you.
Oh, really?
Some bold picks, if I don't say so.
Bold picks. All right, so you got Cardinals and Seahawks.
Writing these down.
I always write these down. I mean, you should write them down too if you think I'm cheating.
You're taking Dolphins.
Taking Dolphins and the Broncos.
Broncos. Explain your reasoning in the Dolphins, please.
They've been on a hot streak lately, and I feel like I don't have many teams left. They're at home playing the Ravens. I think it's a good match. I mean, if they can beat the Patriots at home, I think they can beat the Ravens at home.
That's really good, Mike. That's really good.
I mean, I don't like the Dolphins, but for this week I do.
Appreciate you supporting my team. Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Sports Hangover. That's all we have time for today. Right. Make sure you tweet us at
wow, just really in and out.
at TSH Podcast.
All right.
That's going to happen to you in Denver, too.
In and out. Woo!
All right. In and out.
All
burger.
right.
That's
we don't get molested, arrested, abused. We'll be back 1 week before Christmas. Right? 1 week before? Something like that.
2 weeks.
1 week. I thought it was 1 week before Christmas.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye.